Now, I don't know if you read the Bible or not, but there's a story in there about this guy named Job. Well, even if you don't read the Bible, you may have heard of him. Job was inflicted with so many problems. His health, he lost all of his money, he lost his home, his family, and it just kept getting worse and worse for him. And even his own wife said, "You need to curse God for this. You need to blame God for this." And Job said, "No, I'm keeping my faith with God because I know God's going to get me out of this." The good part of the story is in the end of the story, Job was rewarded 10 times, tenfold of everything that he ever had. And had lived many more years happily with a lot of grandchildren and had a very prosperous life after that. So his faith paid off. Hey cats, what's happening? Welcome to my abode. You're up in the loft. If we look over the edge here, there's the living room down there. This is the loft area. And this is where I spend a lot of time in the evenings. That's my computer station where I do all my editing for these videos, the TV, and we spend a lot of time up here in the evening. So anyway, I was up here the other day, and my wife was downstairs getting ready for bed, and it was taking her longer than usual. So in my concern, I thought I better check on her. I walked over here to the stairs, and I hit the first step in my socks. My feet went out from under me, and I slid all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, let me tell you, that hurt. I was in so much pain before it was all over with. I didn't know if I was going to make it or not. The first thing I had to do was assess my injuries, and I determined pretty quickly that I didn't have any broken bones, but I was hurt really bad. I had bruised my hip considerably. This is the bruise on the side of my thigh, and along with my ankle. I also bruised my elbow up there. A couple of fingers were black and blue, and my left foot, sprained it pretty good. So that was a heck of a tumble down the stairs. Now, that's not the end of the story. That it gets worse from there. Oh my gosh, it's another hot summer day. Well, I'm bacheloring it right now. My wife is not here. So what happened to her? That's another story in itself. I had to take her up to the hospital the other day and took her straight to the emergency room. It didn't seem like a big emergency at the time. She was just having trouble even getting out of bed. They did some scans and they found out that she had bleeding on her brain, so they put her in an ambulance and they rushed her up to Cleveland immediately. And she's been there ever since in the intensive care unit. Now she's stable right now, but I have no idea how long she'll have to stay up there. And that's just, a big concern. So I've been here trying to hold down the fort. At the same time, I've been driving up to Cleveland every day to meet her needs and to make sure that she's okay. Life's not simple. And I want to thank Gary and Annette from California. They sent us a nice little package the other day. T-shirt for V. This is my lung cancer fighting shirt. And another t-shirt, Faith, Hope, Love, Lung Cancer Awareness. They also sent a couple of neat little bracelets. Thank you very much for your kindness and your caring. Very much appreciated. Well, obviously I haven't had very much time for riding, but back to my story about riding. I was, thinking about riding in the groups again, which I've done a lot of. both with the club and with other riders as well. So I've had a lot of experience in group riding. Nowadays, I prefer to ride solo, as a lot of you guys do too. Group riding can be fun and cool in certain situations, but it can be rather aggravating in other situations. Now, probably the most of you that are watching are not affiliated with a group or a club or anything like that. So in most cases, you're going to be by yourself. You may decide, though, to ride on a poker run or a group ride with some friends or something. And in that kind of a situation, you would ride what they call the staggered position. So, you know, you might be here in this line, and the next guy is going to be back here over to the side, the next one over here. So they're staggered. You're not riding side by side. That way, if somebody swerves a little bit, you know, they're not going to run into you. And in those kind of situations, like a poker run, there's a lot of novice riders that aren't regular everyday riders that aren't that good at riding. So it's better to do that staggered position with more unexperienced riders. You may be very experienced and you'll be able to hold your line, but maybe the other guy can't. And that's usually the issue. Now, the other thing that I've seen in group rides, depending on the length of the ride. Now, if you're in a large group of people, you get what is like an accordion effect. You know, the guys at the front will seem to be running a steady speed, but if you're towards the back of the pack, you'll feel like you have to accelerate, and then you'll have to slow down. And then you'll have to accelerate, and then you'll have to slow down. And it's kind of an accordion effect that happens. It only takes one person to start the situation, and then it kind of escalates and grows from there. Now, in a club ride, or, you know, guys that have ridden together a lot and that have a lot of experience in riding, you can ride tandem side by side. We've done a lot of that. You have to have experience, you have to have control, and you have to stay in your line. You can't drift. You can't daydream and hit the other guy and knock him off the road, or vice versa. And it can get pretty close quarters. Now, and then even with that in the group ride, you know, there's some things to understand. Whenever we came into a tight curve, the group would automatically stagger, because sometimes those tight curves can take you, you know, a little bit further out of your line than you intend to. So there's courtesy there where you just back off a little bit when you come to a tight corner. Otherwise, you stay side by side and you ride like that, tight, and stay in formation, and everybody runs the same. Yeah. Now, the other thing that I've experienced with group rides, and these are like more novice type group rides, you know, something you might have a ride from the dealership or something might offer some kind of a fundraiser, or like I said, a poker run. You'll always get the hot dogs, the guys that want to show off, the guys that want to rev their motors, and I've had them where, you know, you're supposed to be riding staggered position, but the guy that's behind me wants to accelerate and shoot in front of me and then drift back again, and accelerate and shoot in front of me and drift back again. I've even had him come flying up behind me at high speed and cut in line further up the line, which is a no-no when you're riding with a group. You stay in your spot. You know, maybe once the group stops, you can reorganize and get to where you want to be at the front of the pack. But not when the group's riding. It just causes confusion, and you're going to potentially cause somebody else to have an accident. And then I say one of the most common things with a group ride are traffic lights. Now, there are more organized runs that offer like an intersection guard. These designated road guards will approach an intersection before the rest of the group, and they will stop in the middle of the intersection, block traffic no matter what the traffic light changes, so that the entire group can get through. Now, is this safe? Is it legal? In most cases, the police will allow this. They won't interfere with that. It's kind of a safe way to get the group through an intersection. You know, you may have even 30, 40 people in a group ride, and the light turns red right in the middle of the group getting through the light. It's nice to have a road guard sitting there to stop traffic. In some situations, these road guards will wear safety vests, you know, the bright colored vests or something, so high visibility, so that they're easily to be seen, and they'll hold their arms up, you know, to stop traffic so that the rest of the bikes can continue riding through. And they may even motion, you know, the other bikes to keep coming through the intersection too, to keep things rolling and to keep the group together. So just a couple things, thoughts that I had about riding with a group. I can't say it's always the safest thing to do. Like I said, I prefer to ride solo now. I'm not so big into group rides. It just seems to add a little more stress to your ride. When you got to think about the guy in front of you, the guy in back of you, or the guy right beside of you, intersections and so forth, and all the other things that come with it. Well, thanks for watching my video today. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd like to have you join us for this ride. Thanks for your prayers and your concerns. Keep us in mind. We certainly appreciate it. Love you guys. Until next time, ride hard and die free.